Hi, I've never really done this sort of video before, so bear with me if it's a bit shit.
Halo is one of many games that has many iconic firearms in them, be it the assault rifle, the rocket launcher, or the shotgun. The most iconic of them all, I would have to say, is the Magnum. Some may agree and some might not, it doesn't matter. The sheer overkill the devs put into the design of what is basically a space Desert Eagle that's chambered in a gigantic 12.7mm round. Have you seen what that shit looks like? It's insane. Definitely a risk breaker for sure. Now, as of late, I invested in a 3D printer. Look, she's right here. If some of you remember, I made that silly video with the most basic looking attempt at an AT4. Now that's something I would like to continue, but since I am trash brain, I jump from project to project. The current one being something I'm more dead set on completing. If it weren't obvious already, I'm printing a Halo Magnum kit for Airsoft use.
As of right now, I'd say the Magnum kit I'm developing for Airsoft Glock 17 replicas is about 90 to 95% complete. What's missing is a beaver tail that extends the grip and underhangs the slide. I think I have one in this pile here. This is kind of what a beaver tail is. Yeah, essentially a beaver tail just extends the grip to make it a little more ergonomic. And my design is supposed to be a bit chunkier, but it still needs revisions. I was going to model my kit after the CE Magnum, but that variant kind of looks a bit stubby, like the UNSC made a single stack snub-nosed 38 special that destroys soldiers' wrists. Instead, I'm basing my design off of Halo 3's Magnum, which honestly, in my opinion, is the nicest of the Bungie era. I don't care about CE's Magnum performance in multiplayer, shut up. I was a literal baby when I played that beta on my mother's crappy Windows 95 machine. I'll admit that basing this whole design on the Glock 17 might have been a bad choice, since even 3's Magnum was quite small in barrel length. But this choice was after I committed to using another person's Magnum design, which had awful tolerances.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding, like they printed out so many of these, and they all have like similar or same problems.
So I figured it'd be easy just to buy the remaining parts and put up a wee G17 to design around. Besides, it doesn't really affect the overall aesthetic of this pistol. It looks super good. And I'm not trying to be smug about my own skills, but like, hot damn, I love how this thing just comes together. Ultimately, what is holding this thing back is that beaver tail I mentioned. And I would love to just design one now, but unfortunately, this lower is a bit crap, and that's due to my own stupidity. When assembling it, I think I might have drilled a hole slightly. The pin that holds the rear hammer assembly, one of the holes is a bit bigger, and that will be a problem for getting the right measurements for when I decide to actually design the beaver tail. But I'm waiting. UK site eBog, where I pretty much bought all of the Glock components and some Glock 26 components. Fantastic site. Not everything's in stock, hence why I can't continue this. I need a new lower. I'm probably gonna buy a black one to fit with the aesthetic. But that's a brilliant site if you want replacement gas blowback pistol parts. This kit isn't gonna be released until I finish that beaver tail, which is basically up to the mercy of whenever eBog gets that part in for me. I have contacted SpartanJess. He does a lot of Halo Airsoft content. I asked him if he wanted to try this thing out in its beta form. He is currently working on his channel, so he'll get back to me whenever that's finished. I sadly cannot go Airsoft right now because I'm a weekend wagey and I have no holiday hours left, so I can't really go and play. The actual slide itself is attached to the Glock slide via a singular countersunk M3 bolt and a M3 size nut that you will probably have to heat press in to the plastic for it to, you know, sit in there nicely. And that keeps everything together nicely, and it's very, very secure. The front end is held in with just a little 3D printed pin that goes into the groove underside the barrel, where you would like usually attach regular Glock sized attachments to. And the trigger guard is pressed into place into a dovetail groove, which makes it fit nice and snug. Wouldn't recommend pistol whipping this into anyone because it might break and you will probably get thrown off the site. The bottom of the trigger guard is held in with this sort of flared magwell thing. I don't know what to call it. but that's basically the best methods of me designing it to hold it in place. The rear is another countersunk M3 bolt, and it goes into the little hole at the back of the Glock grip. And what's attaching the trigger guard to that is, again, another M3 countersunk bolt. And you will have to drill the hole in the trigger guard for it to, hold in place. But if you're 3D printing this yourself, I'm sure you're tech savvy enough to actually have a drill with the right drill bit. For those of you who want to paint this yourself, I know the struggles of sanding things, so I made sure this thing is easy to sand. The sort of laser pointer thing here, I don't know what to call it, the thing that sort of Neuralinks with the helmet, that is removable. Of course, I've glued mine in, and the side dials are also separate. You have to print those separately, like with the whole kit. And that's just to make it easier to sand, and then you just glue them right in, and then you're good. And for those of you who like to actually customize your guns, don't worry, I hear you. I already have a version that has a standard Picatinny rail, so you can mount your lasers and your flashlight combos. I have my Wadson one here for whenever I do a night game, and it works pretty solidly. I have yet to demo this at an airsoft site. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. Hopefully we can get this thing finished, and then when it's finished, I'll release the files on Coach 3D or whatever 3D printing site I can sell it on. I'm not too sure pricing. I'm bad at pricing, always have been bad at pricing. So should be around the ballpark of about like 20 bucks for the files. Nothing too expensive. Yeah. Bye.